only thing that can top a workout is a workout that ends with a good cup of coffee. Hello, my awesome caffeinated community. Welcome to Coffee and Cardio, the podcast that fuels your workouts and your life with some caffeine and a lot of care. I'm your host, Isha, with an E. And if you're anything like me, you agree that the only thing that can top a workout is a workout that ends with a good cup of coffee. Now, we are here to dive deep into all things sports, especially endurance sports, with all the glorious, messy, technical details of balancing that with, life. Expect this podcast to be your cheers for your go to for the tips and tricks and for all the hilarious, messy episodes that come with chasing the finish line. So, grab your cup of coffee and let's begin. So, because it's the first podcast ever, what I'm trying to do is I'm just going to introduce myself to you. I'm going to talk a little about my journey, about a lot of questions that I received that I probably should answer here. And we'll see how that goes from there. I'll try and keep it brief, like 20, 30 ish minutes. And I will expect your feedback at the end. Right. So I get asked about how I got into this. So as a kid, I played national level football, I've played state level tennis. So I have sort of been a very active kid. Um, Now I don't really play football. I do play tennis every now and then. So there is that. And I have been weight training for I think over easily over a decade, but I don't know by how much. So like I got back from my postgrads and I was very thin and maybe a little proud of myself that I was that lean because I was quite young. And then I go to the gym that my sister goes to and they get the body scan, the in-body scans done. And then the guy there tells me that, listen, you have no muscle. You're just, that's not healthy. I mean, you seem to think that you're healthy because you're like really thin, but you're not. And that, like, as somebody who's been very active since I was young, hearing that, oh no, but you don't really have much muscle was quite insulting to me. And so I kind of started with weight training then, and it was fun. Okay, so the gym was great. The trainers were great. They always pushed you to do better, to be stronger, and then that's what I was working at. I can't say I had too many aesthetic goals because initially I was just like, no, I need to get, you know, stronger. I need to be able to lift more. I want to try that exercise. Oh, what is he doing? I want that. And of course, I want to be able to do pull ups and push ups and, things like that. That's how it started and then kind of went from there. Anyway, I started running just a little before COVID. And so by that time, I had done, I think, a couple of half marathons, and I was sitting with my sister over a coffee, and then she tells me that she wants to try running, and then if I could talk to Dr. Radkar about it. So being, I don't know how better to put it, but so so I went ahead, and because I'm crazy like that, I said, yeah, I'll join you as well. I talked to coach, and both of us will get started. And yeah, that's how I got into it. And then there was no looking back. I got into it thinking that I don't really have goals. I just want to be a better runner. But it does not work like that. Seldom works like that when you join a running group. So when you join a running group, typically you join a running community. And the second you join the running community, it's all pretty well, you just get carried away from that point onwards. So I ran for a few years, and then obviously there was the natural transition from being a runner to being a triathlete, which also happened the same way as running happened for me. I was having breakfast with Maitri and Swapna, and then Maitri goes, "Listen, just sign up. It's easy." And she's a wonderful, fantastic triathlete. Okay, she's had a lot of podiums. She's excellent. She's an excellent nutritionist. She's my nutritionist as well. So when she sits there and says, "No, listen, I have full confidence. You'll be great. Just sign up." And early in the morning, first cup of coffee, and I was like, "Yeah, let's do this. I'm going to sign up as well," without even realizing that it's going to be grueling. Okay, it's going to be a few months of absolute pain. And kids, this is the origin story. The next thing that I get asked a lot is how do you get started with running? And the easiest thing is sign up with an excellent coach. So when I signed up with Dr. Radkar, he took care of everything else. He assessed how good of a runner I was, what I needed, based on my goals, which were none. He also created the plans for me, and I kind of just followed. I think to a point where I was also telling him that, I wake up, I don't feel like going for runs a lot of times, especially in winters. I'm like, I just kind of need to sleep. Is it really worth it? And then he would tell me um, tips, mental tips and tricks of how to get myself out. So, yeah, just get a coach even really top. And the running community is great as well. So, even with like really simple, silly problems, I used to just go to the running community, ask somebody because I mean, you'll find so many better runners. And I was a beginner, so everybody was a better runner than me and more experienced. So when I did have doubts, even like silly doubts, okay, something like, oh no, I keep losing toenails, is that normal or am I doing something wrong? Did patiently tell me things that I need to know about it. Now, here are a few things that you should know as a beginner runner. First is you're going to use toenails. Do not listen to the people who keep telling you, no, if your shoe is right, you won't use toenails. If your gait is correct, you're not going to use toenails. If you run properly, you won't use toenails. That is not true. You will use toenails. As any advanced runner will tell you, whatever you do, you will every now and then use toenails. If you see mine, so this once I had so my sister and I were getting haircuts, and she took a little longer. So I gone and sat at her salon, and so I thought, while I'm waiting, let me get my first ever pedicure. And I can see the guy looking at me like he wanted to ask me something, and I was reading on my Kindle, so I think he didn't really want to disturb me. So at one point, he's like, "Ma'am, if you don't mind, and if you're not going to be offended, can I just ask you something?" And to which I replied that no, okay, my feet are really ugly. I know that, but that's because I'm a runner. That's why I have like dead toenails, dead skin, and a lot of horrible things you're having to clean up down there. He's like, okay, yeah, no, that's exactly what I was wondering. So yeah, that's gonna happen. It's okay. It's fine. At least you get to probably tell him you are like, I'm a runner. I'm cool like that. Okay, second is you will have to plan your long runs around routes where you might be able to refill your water bottle and where there are little loose. Trust me on this. So if you're in Pune, they run on roads where there are well, fuel stations are a great idea because there's free water and the toilets, at least for women, are pretty good. The free toilets inside university are really good as well, and you do get free water there also. So plan your routes accordingly. Also ensure that they're safe. And you're not going somewhere too isolated. I usually prefer running in residential areas. So this is very sad, but it's so that if I shout, there are people who can listen, who hear me scream. So, yeah. Um, when you're running, if you feel burning sensation on your skin, like between your thighs or armpits, that is chafing, you will feel that when you step into the shower. It happens, but over time, you'll learn of ways to avoid that. It could be using Vaseline where you are prone to getting chafed, wearing two-in-one shorts, or just like the tight shorts or tights. Those help a lot as well. You also get specific anti-chafing gels, which you can go for. You'll figure it out, or just ask somebody. You can just drop me a DM as well. Sooner or later, you have to get used to eating on your long runs. You're going to hate it, but you have to do it. You have to carry water with you as well. Do not try to be, the way they show in movies, this person going on a long ride. Or if you've read Want to Run, don't try and be those people who are just going to keep running for hours without water, without food. Do not try that. Have water, have food. You're going to feel like throwing up initially when you start eating on your runs, but you need that. Trust me. So the next question is whether you should listen to music while running or not. Now, this is a personal preference. I would say that if you can get used to running without headphones or earphones or whatever, without music, then you should do that. That is great. But in case you do like to listen to music while running, then that's fine as well. Just do not use noise cancelling earphones for safety reasons, and don't keep the volume so high that you don't know what's going on around you. So yeah, just like so that you can hear the incoming traffic or people, or just be a little alert whilst you're running. Should you listen to music while running or not? Now, if you can get used to running without any music, that would be superb. I think that is perfect. But if you want to listen to music, I think that's fine as well. Just don't use noise cancelling earphone and keep the volume a little low so that you're aware of your surroundings. So you can hear the music, but you also know when a car is coming by or if there's a person around you. Just be a little alert. I personally listen to crime podcasts. I enjoy listening to that while I'm running. I would love if you all can give me any recommendations of any crime podcasts that you like. And if you want me to drop my list, let me know. I'll do that as well. I think this is enough for the first episode. I don't want to bore you with it. I just kind of wanted to see if I'm comfortable talking to the camera, because this is not going to be 100% scripted podcast. I kind of wrote down the points for this one and elaborated on those. And I'm hoping to keep doing that with the guests as well, where I'll just write down a few questions, a few points, and then we roll with it and see how it goes. Um, Please give me your feedback about whether you love it or don't, or what can be tweaked, what points can be added. If there are any questions you want me to tackle in the coming episodes, I'd be happy to do that. Any recommendations? Also, please do subscribe, share this with your friends and family. Let's try and grow this community a little faster. Thank you so much. Bye bye.